have different rating and your car has a different rating as well, but it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there's an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared and there should be a very low barrier of sharing. And then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universe protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating and your car has a different rating as well, but it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there's an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared and there should be a very low barrier of sharing. And then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universe protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating and your car has a different rating as well, but it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there's an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared and there should be a very low barrier of sharing. And then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universe protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating, and your car has a different rating as well. But it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there is an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared, and there should be a very low barrier of sharing, and then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit, and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universe protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating, and your car has a different rating as well. But it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there is an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared, and there should be a very low barrier of sharing, and then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit, and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universe protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating, and your car has a different rating as well. But it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there is an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared, and there should be a very low barrier of sharing, and then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universe protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit, and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universal protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing. The system does not talk to each other. Your housing have different rating, and your car has a different rating as well. But it is not integrated so that everybody is working under one system for the whole sharing economy to work all together. That's why there is an important value we believe in to make Odyssey a project we want to work on, is that we believe in future everything can be shared, and there should be a very low barrier of sharing. And then all the systems, all the people who participate in the sharing economy, we should leverage one universal protocol that everybody follows, everybody can be traceable, and all the actions can be measured according to one same system. And that is actually the core of Odyssey, is to build one universal protocol that is based on trust and credit and can be utilized by all the different industries. And then to make this happen, we still need a joint collaboration from different partners in this industry to make it together. Being us alone will never make this happen, but in which we need people from different aspects of sharing economy to join us so that we benefit from each other and benefit from this one universal protocol of trust and credit-based system. We believe in that everything can be shared, and the barrier of sharing should be low enough for everybody to use, and everybody should benefit because of sharing.
Bitcoin opens up the imagination and possibilities of a global digital currency. The blockchain technology that comes with Bitcoin has put our society in an incredible time. Huobi is actively involved in this wave of rising digital assets in 2013, helping to enlighten Chinese people in digital currency investment. Huobi has made a brilliant achievement in taking the highest market share and received the highest trading volume in China. At present, Huobi Group is opening a global integrated digital asset transaction services with a strong focus on customer service. Huobi Group has set up operations and service centers in Singapore, Hong Kong, Seoul, Tokyo, Beijing, and Shenzhen. With our new base in the beautiful Singapore, Huobi Group will bring quality educational and service experiences to millions of users of digital assets in 130 countries and regions.
You guys can hear me? Okay. All right, a very warm welcome to Huobi Talk. I'm your host for this afternoon. Yes, a lot of you are watching live right now. Thank you and hello. Yes, today we are streaming live from the leading global financial hub in Asia, Singapore. That's where Huobi.pro headquarters is based. Now, Huobi Talk is the #1 cryptocurrency talk show giving you insights on the world of blockchain. So join us today as we have more of the conversations with founders as well as key members from outstanding projects as we dive deeper to understand more about the blockchain technologies and the possibilities of the future of cryptocurrency. All right, so today we will be bringing you more news on the latest trends and insights on cryptocurrency. Now, I know we are streaming live. A lot of you are commenting actively. So if you do have any questions on Huobi Talk or simply, any questions to ask our guests, just help us to pen down your questions on our comment section. And we'll be taking some time to check out all the comments as well as the questions, and alongside, if we have time, we'll be answering them. In a previous episode of Huobi Talk, we had the pleasure of speaking to Sophie Guan. Now, if you remember, Sophie Guan is the project lead of Odyssey, OCN, and she has shared with us some exciting developments that she has with the recent partnership together with Grab. And having said this, of course, it's very, very exciting. If you missed out on the telecast just last week, you can always catch up our missed episodes on Huobi Talk, and you can just check out the YouTube. That's right, just go to YouTube and search for Huobi.pro YouTube channel to catch up on previous episodes and highlights of the reels. And also remember to tune in our future episodes. So join us by clicking on the subscribe on the bottom right of the page right now to subscribe to our Huobi.pro on YouTube right now. So go ahead and do it. And join us on Telegram. Okay, so how can you do it? When you're on the Telegram, you can just search for Huobi.pro official on the Telegram, and you can also follow us on Twitter, all right? And if you're on the Twitter, you just need to search for Huobi_pro. So check out the links right below, and you know how to connect to us. And on today's episode, we will be featuring ArcBlock ABT, a project recently listed on Huobi.pro. Now, we've seen so many interesting cases and developments of blockchain technology, and this is coming out very fast in the recent times. And did you know that you can also adopt virtual cats called crypto kitties on the Ethereum blockchain? Wow. However, of course, we know that blockchain adoption is still not widespread with the general public. It still has its limitations, it still has its barriers, such as like transaction speed and also the high cost of adopting blockchain technology. So that's where our ArcBlock comes in, and ArcBlock, with the experienced team working towards the goal to build a blockchain 3.0 ecosystem for decentralized application. So stay tuned to find out more from the team themselves. And of course, we will be hosting our signature Huobi Talk Airdrop giveaway today. In fact, we have such overwhelming response from our viewers for Huobi Talk last week, with each eligible participant walking away with 1,000 Odyssey, OCN, and Engine EGCC tokens. So that was for last week. So this week, well, we have a target pool as well. So our airdrop prize pool today will also be highly dependent on the amount of views that we get during our live streaming. Obviously, the more the better, and the bigger the prize pool. I see a lot of you are, actively commenting in our comments segment. So what you can also do is to share it with your friends and also your family members. So let's check out our airdrop rules. So director, please flash our poster. All right, so there we have. Today we have a very attractive prize pool of up to 20,000 ArcBlock ABT and 4.9 million Engine EGCC and Odyssey OCN tokens up for grabs. And we can also make this possible if you guys were to do this together with us. Okay. So let's do this together. Let's aim for our top tier. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. Simply share this live stream at www.youtube.com/Huobi.pro/live with your friends and your family right now for us to hit the top tier of 2,000 live viewers and more. Obviously, the more the merrier. Okay, we're aiming for 2,000. If you can hit 2,000, wow, we're in for a great time. So bear that in mind. So as always, the more the merrier. So we encourage all of you to quickly share. So now let's take a look at our number of live views. Oh, let me just have a quick check. All right, so we are standing at 1,767 live views, which means that we are about maybe 200 plus away from the top tier. So dear viewers, do remember, once we hit 2,000, wow, woohoo, we're going to have a great time. So hurry up and share the news together with your friends and family. We hope that we can hit the target pool, and you know how many airdrop tokens you'll be getting nearing to the end of the streaming. And right now it's still too early for you to comment, okay? So we don't need you to start commenting with your Huobi UID. In fact, you should only do that right at the end of the announcement, right at the end of the show, upon my announcement. So do not start posting your UID. I'm just taking a look over here on our live top chat. I see lots and lots of you, very excited, you guys. And you guys have been like posting, oh, yeah, my UID, I love HADAX, etc., etc. So do remember, no, we don't need you to do that right now, okay? So that's upon the end of our show and upon my announcement. So right now, guys, just chill, enjoy the show, and most importantly, well, we're gonna ask some questions. So, okay, so for the UID on our Huobi, for those of you who are just new to us, you have no idea how to get it. First, log in to Huobi.pro. There you go, this is the account. Very easy. So second, click on account and security. And thirdly, find your UID here. Well, it seems fairly simple, so good luck everyone. Let's get the views up together. All right. So since the announcement of Huobi Autonomous Digital Asset Exchange, the world's first autonomous token exchange listing on the Feb 3rd, we have seen hundreds of token projects voted by thousands of users, and we concluded that the very first phase of HADAX voting and listing was with great success. And in fact, we have over 267 million views from over 149,000 of our real-world users. That is a very truly amazing result and very impressive. And the highlights of the popularity of voting in our cryptocurrency community often highlights that the projects are pretty promising. So we have just launched the second phase of HADAX voting on the 12th March with 22 projects up for voting this time. So we wish these projects all the best, and we hope that more projects can join us on our platform and also here at Huobi Talk. So it's going to be a very exciting cryptocurrency journey. Now, if you do have any questions on Huobi Talk, or simply you like to perhaps post your questions to me or for our speaker later on, keep them coming on the live chat. So as we mentioned earlier on, at any point of time right now, it's more like you should just chill and relax and enjoy the show. And for those of you who are posting a UID, well, just chill. Later on, upon my announcement, you can start posting. And today, we will be welcoming our guest speaker from ArcBlock, and he is Mr. Robert Mao. Now, he is the founder and CEO of ArcBlock, and he's a serial entrepreneur and innovator. He has founded tech companies and also worked with Microsoft Research before starting ArcBlock. So let's hear straight from the horse's mouth. It is time for us to talk to Robert. So Director, could you please connect us to Robert, please?
Hello, everyone. I'm wondering if I'm on.
Hello, hi, Robert. Hi.
Hi, this is Robert Mao. So I'm live from Seattle right now. It's night at Seattle.
Hey, Robert.
It's my great opportunity to have this opportunity to share with you. And thanks a lot for Huobi, and thanks a lot for everyone who come here. And as mentioned, I'm Robert Mao. So I'm a founder and CEO of ArcBlock, and I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I have been working on startup for a long time. So basically, I'm almost a born.
So you're a born serial entrepreneur and innovator.
I joined Microsoft.
In your blood. Yeah. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Can you share more?
Yeah, sure. So before I started ArcBlock, I used to work for Microsoft, and I worked for Microsoft Europe. And the Microsoft Research in Redmond. Where in Microsoft Europe, I have the fortunate to meet one of the star colleague. His name is Flavian. And actually, Flavian became a very important role in this time when I started ArcBlock. And yeah, so Flavian, for something really interesting is Flavian at the time, we were colleagues in Microsoft Europe. He's a star. And at the time, in year 2009, there is a new technology come out, which is called blockchain. So I was very curious about blockchain. I even tried to mining for the Bitcoin, but at the time I have no idea what Bitcoin will become. After I definitely sure that I was successfully mine a few blocks, which is at the time each of the block, which is 50 Bitcoins. But honestly, guess what? I lost all of them.
You can't find it? Like you can't retrieve it?
I don't think so, because at the time I have a really powerful computer and I use it to install the Bitcoin mining software, and after that I just reformat everything.
Oh no.
So I'm definitely sure that hard drive has been formatted, so there's no way to retrieve the private key anymore.
Oh dear, that will cause you a bomb.
At the time, I didn't feel it is anything. And interestingly, even though I mined the Bitcoin from the very early time, but I never realized this is something that could potentially change the whole world. And back in year 2013, at the time, blockchain concept come into being in the Silicon Valley. So there are a lot of people talking about the blockchain. And then I realized, okay, blockchain is actually the layered data structure of Bitcoin. And at the same time, I heard about Flavian. He just left Microsoft at the time. And what he did is he left Microsoft to start some new startup, which is working on some new technology called Cardcoin.
Cardcoin?
Yes, Cardcoin.
Oh.
So Cardcoin is an interesting concept because in year 2013, there was a crash for the Bitcoins. So there are a lot of people, when they play, they begin to think, if the Bitcoin itself doesn't work really as expected as a digital currency, what else can it do? It's a brilliant technology. So the Cardcoin concept is basically try to attach some structured data with the Bitcoin. You can divide the Bitcoin into very, very small units, and then you can attach some kind of data into those units. And then use this data, you can represent a lot of other things other than the currency itself. For example, you can use it to represent the certificate, your degrees, or your share in a company, or your share into some kind of a contract. So that actually was the first kind of a application that is built on top of blockchain that is not just a cryptocurrency for the first time ever.
Wow, sounds amazing. So you have been partnering with the star, obviously. He's like the star of that time. But of course, I know you're the star as well. So I would say it's a very star-studded, very stellar cast team. Would you also share with us what sparked your interest in this blockchain industry? So what eventually paved the way for ArcBlock?
Yeah, so that's actually, I'm almost get to there. So during the time, even though I get into some blockchain related meetups, I still didn't quite understand what really blockchain can change the world until I see Flavio. Because, I know Flavio is super smart, but he is really dedicated his time to something that I don't understand. That's kind of a trigger something in my mind. I think if a smart guy is doing something that you don't understand, you should seriously think about is that something? Yeah, you definitely need to understand it. And after that, I think I began to understand it better, and I realized that so blockchain itself is not just the cryptocurrency. It's actually something that is really important, kind of an infrastructure level of the technology that could potentially be everywhere in the future.
Wow, so it's like a potential for you. So that sparked your interest in the blockchain industry. Now, could you share with us more about ArcBlock? I think, is it another type of blockchain technology, or is it a kind of application?
Yeah, so ArcBlock, the position of the ArcBlock is pretty unique. It's not a new blockchain. It's not new public chain or not new blockchain protocol. It's also not just an application. Instead, it's a platform for the developers to build and deploy decentralized applications that are using blockchain. And beside that, the platform itself is powered by blockchain. So as a computing platform, one of the important systems is called a BOSS system, which is billing and operation support system. So usually this kind of BOSS system is highly centralized, but in ArcBlock, we use the block ledger for the billing and operation support. So that basically means that enabled a lot of other developers could be potentially work together with us to build this platform together. It's not just ArcBlock building this platform and selling the service to others. Instead, we're building a kind of a structure. It's basically we're building this kind of a scaffold that allow everybody coming together to build a great platform to enable other developers to work together to build decentralized applications.
So it's more like a open source where everyone can contribute together to make it a better ecosystem.
I think it's kind of like even better than the open source. Open source concept is great, but the open source, you see, open source, sometimes a lot of the great developers involved in the open source, they do not get making contribution, but there's no way to reward them. So in the ArcBlock, we try to introduce this kind of a rewarding system. So anybody who be able to contribute your resource into this platform, either you're contributing the computing resource, or you're contributing the components, contributing like the adapters to building for different to adapt for different blockchains. Everybody can work it together, and then we can be able to reward different people with these tokens.
I also think that for ArcBlock, it aims to solve certain problems. And before we can dive into like what ArcBlock can solve for us, I think it is also important for us to understand ArcBlock better in depth. Perhaps you can share with us an insight of maybe the evolution of ArcBlock. So it is a 3.0 blockchain technology, and maybe you can share some insights and depths with us.
Yeah, that's great. Can the director choose a PowerPoint I prepared for the audience? Yeah, so even though blockchain right now is something that people are exciting today, but actually the fact is blockchain and has been born for a long time. So for the very early on, the blockchain, people don't, blockchain, the name of the blockchain was actually coming from the code of the Bitcoins. So for the 1.0 generation, which is the first generation of the blockchain, what essentially in the blockchain is a simple ledger that records transactions. So that is represented by the Bitcoin and a few other coins that is forked from the Bitcoins. So at this time, the blockchain, the whole purpose of the blockchain is basically try to use for implement the cryptocurrencies. So sometimes people get confused about what blockchain and Bitcoin. I would say, for example, Bitcoin itself is a blockchain, and Bitcoin is also a protocol that run on Bitcoin blockchain. And Bitcoin itself is also application that is powered by Bitcoin protocol that run on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. So it just has the same name. Right?
So that's called a 1.0.
Yeah, that's 1.0. The 2.0, I just mentioned a little bit the colored coin. I would say the colored coin is the first 2.0 blockchain. Because at the time, people are trying to think, can the blockchain used for something else other than the cryptocurrency? So that's how color coin come into. And then eventually quickly, so Ethereum is coming up. So if there is somebody who read the Ethereum's white paper, you might be able to see Ethereum in the white paper. They say they're inspired by the color coin. So for the blockchain 2.0, what's major different is other than the ledgers that record transactions, there's coming into structured data. They're coming into the code. So that basically make the blockchain be able to represent something other than the cryptocurrencies. So today, when we talk about Ethereum, everybody will think about a smart contract, which is basically the code that run on top of the ledgers.
That is true. Then what about the blockchain 3.0? What is it?
Yeah, so for anybody who have used the Ethereum, who have used the Bitcoins, and as the CryptoKitties that you just mentioned, whoever have played that, you will realize that it's a blockchain is a great idea. However, if you really need to use it, it's actually pretty painful and pretty frustrated to understand.
Yeah, there's a lot of limiting barriers. The speed of transaction is a problem as well.
Yeah, exactly. So to be able to make the blockchain, that is something that is friendly for the consumer. It's not just the blockchain itself is not just enough. So there's need a lot of applications that make user to realize that this is something that is really useful, and the applications need to be really user friendly for the users. Director, can you change to the next slide?
Wow, Open Chain Access Protocol. So this is an overview of how the ArcBlock works, Robert?
Yes, so when we do the start, actually, let me tell you a little bit about the history, how we created this ArcBlock platform. So I was getting super excited for the blockchain concept and think it could be really powerful for all kinds of different applications. So the first idea when I come out is actually and then when I see the big blockchain applications, I realized there's actually the vision is great, but the reality is so painful. The first problem I'm facing is what kind of blockchain to use. Should I build this on top of Bitcoin, or should I do that with Hyperledger, or should I use that build that on top of Ethereum? And there's tons of different blockchains technologies over there, and which one to use. And honestly, it's probably going to be the problem for every developers on the first place.
A big problem. So
yeah.
So it's not to reinvent the wheel in this case, right, Robert? You're not going to do something which everyone is doing and still face the same problems.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how we bring this Open Chain Access Protocol. So Open Chain Access Protocol essentially is there. So different blockchains can use can connect to this abstract layer with we call it chain adapters. And since it's open, so we actually in the future we plan to open source the Open Chain Access Protocol itself and the reference implementation of that, so that will enable anybody be able to create a new adapters or even write a better adapters for the existing chain adapters. So that basically say with the open chain access protocol, the developers will no longer need to worry about the details of one specific blockchains. And they can even be able to connect to different blockchains in one single applications. And in some scenarios, the developers can probably start developing with one blockchain, and then eventually they switch to another blockchains. And so that all made possible by trying to define an abstract layer of the blockchains.
Wow, that sounds really awesome, Robert. But from what I see from your PowerPoint, there is also a blocklet that was listed. So maybe you would like to share with us more what this blocklet is all about.
Yeah, it's called a blocklet. So the name of the blocklet is actually, if somebody knows the history of the internet, at the time when the Java coming out, there's a small program called applet, and also from the server side, there's something called a servlet. So blocklet is basically named from those kind of technology, but it's just named after those technologies. But the technology itself is something that is recently get pretty popular in the industry, which is a microservice. So in the next slide, there's a slide dedicated for the blocklet. So blocklet essentially is a framework. It's a microservice framework. So in this framework, it has, based on the open chain access protocol, we let the developers easily to access to all kinds of different blockchains, as we mentioned. And this framework itself does not limit to the blockchain itself. So actually, this blocklet is an off-chain computing environment. So there is on-chain computing and off-chain computing. We believe that in the future, a blockchain application need to be combined, the on-chain computing and off-chain computing, and the on-chain resource and off-chain resource all together to form a full user experience for the users. So the blocklet is essentially a framework to help the developers to quickly adapt to the best practice we have developed to be able to quickly implement the blockchain applications. And it's a microservice. So basically the concept is you do not build everything together in a giant applications. Instead, you build many, many different services. So each of the services probably do one thing, but it did it really well. And the other advantage with this kind of microservice design, that basically means in the blockchain there's many components that could potentially be reused. For example, for any of the blockchain applications, you might need a wallet, you might need a token economic system. You probably don't need to re-implement everything by yourself. If there's a reusable component, that we make it easy for you just to reuse from something that others develop or we develop for you. So that hopefully makes the development of the new decentralized applications much easier.
Oh, that seems like the future because it's seamless and it helps a lot of businesses because with improved transactional speed, with improved technology, it means improved productivity as well as improved revenue for businesses. That sounds really awesome. Thank you, Robert. So right now, we just take a little break before we go into deeper and before we can grill Robert more. So let's take a look at our live chat right now and see whether you guys have any questions. But what I can see is all of you are super excited. You guys are like, I'm shooting your UID code on our Huobi Talk live chat. As we mentioned before, no, you do not need to do it right now. Okay, you need to do it upon my instructions, upon my announcements at the end of the show. So I do understand you guys totally because if I'm part of this live audience, I will be so excited. I want to qualify for the Airdrop segment. I would just put my UID. However, our staff will only start to reply and take note those UID code that is posted right after my announcement. So right now I can see a lot of you still putting the UID code and I love HADAX. And we're gonna just give this time and segment to answer some of the questions, okay? So if you do have any questions for Robert or for our Huobi Talk, we love to engage you on our live chat. So simply go ahead and start posting your questions on our end, we should be able to pick up a few questions, and maybe Robert, you can help us to pick up a few questions, some burning questions that you guys would love to know, okay? So for those of you watching this live stream, just update on live stream and start to share with your friends and your family, and check out the rules. Before that, let's take a look at our questions. Whoa, there's a lot. Okay,
yeah,
so
I just pick up one of the questions. There's people asking, so hey, hey Robert, Ethereum-based token or ERC20, what about ArcBlock? Yeah, so that's a very good question. So right now the ABT token we have, because ArcBlock system is not ready yet. So after our main net is up now, and we're going to be able to use the ArcBlock, the user need to convert the ERC20 token into a native token from the ArcBlock. So that will going to happen after the ArcBlock is completely working for the general public. Yeah, so when we're ready, we'll try the best to make this kind of conversion smooth. And since there's a slide that shows the ArcBlock's high-level overview, as you can see, one of the important components that we have is we call the token economic blocklets, which is basically we are encouraging you in the future, if some developers try to develop an application on top of the ArcBlock, and if they need to create a new utility token, they can basically inherit what the ABT have. So the difference between the ABT and the ERC20 is more an abstract interface. It's great, it's awesome to create a token, but to be able to make this token useful, performance is just one issue. But the bigger issue is you still need to create the whole token service for everything, to keep everything running. So in the ABT designs, so the ArcBlock's token service is going to be inherit. That is basically to say, if you are going to create a new token based on ABT, you should be able to get everything from whatever ABT already have. The other major difference is the ERC20. It's a second-class citizen. If you know the ERC20 token and the Ether, they're not at the same level. Ether is a first-class citizen. ERC20 is second-class citizen. In the ABT's design, we try to make every token equal. So any new token, utility token from our applications, they're going to be the first-class citizen in ArcBlock. So hopefully that explains this diagram and also answer the question.
Yes, and also taking a look at our live chat, we have a lot of our friends from all over the world. Just taking a little time to address each and every one of you. I do see quite a lot of you from Vietnam, so Xin Chào, and we have a lot of Korean friends as well. Do we say 감사합니다 or 사랑해요? Okay, so well, just keep your questions coming in, and I do see a lot of questions were asking about competitors, and also how do you see yourself in the next few years. So we're gonna take time to go through that. I think we would have quite an in-depth session. So maybe we can take one more question from the live chat. So let's pick up some questions. If Robert you spotted any questions, we'll share it. A lot of you are talking about competitors. Who are your competitors? And who are the two new members of ArcBlock? Wow, Iron Man. He is very, very in tune with the developments of ArcBlock. He's aware of. I would presume you're a guy, Iron Man. Yeah, I think you said there are two new members of ArcBlock, and you're definitely in tune. So, Robert, can you share with us who are the two new members, or maybe it is not the right time? You can just share with us maybe the expertise of these two new members into your team.
Great. Looks like somebody actually reading my WeChat shared moments. And yes, so in the past weeks, I'm really excited to talk to a lot of great candidates and hopefully to bring the best candidate into our teams. So luckily, we have two very important members that's going to join us. But unfortunately, I cannot disclose their name yet because we're going to let them finalize everything. And when each of them join us, we're going to announce in detail who they are. But what I can share with you is one of our in the future, one of our future VP of engineering. He's a longtime friend of me, and he's also one of the developers that has a very good reputation in the community, and I respect him a lot. And he has experience in the large companies, and he also started his own startup, and he is very much involved in the open source communities for a while. And it's really my lucky to be able to get him on board. One of the other person who is going to join us as design directors. As a design directors, he's going to help me to design together and from the whole overall experience side. So he is one of my colleagues back in Microsoft Research. And what I can disclose is he's one of the creator of the Microsoft's mutual design language. He's an awesome designer who created this kind of design language that has been widely used in the latest Windows system. He's also one of the UX designer of Microsoft's HoloLens, which is the AR device that's created by Microsoft. And as I mentioned, I have been working with him in the past and for many years, and I think he has great experience on the design, and he designed many frontier user experience, and I think now it's time for him to contribute his blockchain again. But it's coming soon.
Well, sounds like you have a lot of superheroes in your team, Robert. So the superheroes, I'm sure we are ready to take on the world. Yes, before we take on the world, it is time for us to do a little shout out for our Airdrop tokens. So check out the rules for those of you who just joined us today. Yes, so director, while you're flashing this, everybody please take a look. We have an attractive prize pool of up to 20,000 ArcBlock ABT and 4.9 million Engine EGCC and Odyssey OCN tokens up for grab today. And we can only make this happen possible if we do it together. That's right, so everyone just has to share this live stream at www.youtube.com/Huobi.pro/live with all your friends and your family for us to hit the top tier of 2,000 live viewers and above. As always, the more the merrier, and everyone can be a winner. So if we have like more than 2,000, I think, wow, you really hit the top tier. So let's take a look at the number of viewers right now. Wow, I'm really excited to see the number of views and whether we hit the top tier. Let's take a look. Wow. Oh, that was a very loud wow. We have 2,575 live views. Well done, guys. You guys are awesome. We hit the top tier. Yes, but keep sharing because we hope that at the end of this whole session, if it's still at 2,000 or more, we will qualify for the top tier. It's not like now we hit 2,000 and at the end of the show, if it dropped to 1,000, it still doesn't qualify or count as the top tier. So keep sharing, keep watching, keep staying with us right now. And yes, sharing the information at the share button at the bottom side of our page over here, the video, you can start sharing. At the end of the show, I will update you guys again on our viewer pool and whether we have hit our target and how many airdrops you guys will be getting at the end of the show. And at the end of the show, I will also prompt all of you to start commenting with your UID token. That's right, your UID at I Love HADAX to qualify for the airdrop pool tier. As we mentioned, please do not need to post right now. Only post it at the end of the show upon my announcement or instructions, because I know all of you are very excited. At this point in time, we still have a lot of you commenting with a UID, so that's not really needed for now. But taking a break from all the live chat, let's go back to our questions for Robert. I think we'd love to grill him even more. Robert, so as some of our viewers have already queried and questioned, a lot of them are asking what are the competitive advantages of ArcBlock as compared to the competitors both in blockchain, such as our Ethereum, and as well as the traditional world. I think most importantly, they want to know whether they are competitors, like who are the competitors. or like what are the advantages of ArcBlock? Can you share with us?
Yes. So blockchain right now is basically very early stage. It's basically like a Wild West. So when we're entering the blockchain space, we first realize that it's actually pretty wide open. There's so many empty space over there. So instead, you see you're looking for competitors. You'd rather fill the gaps that is open and wide. So especially for the ArcBlock's positioning, when we are trying to do the blockchain applications, we realize there's so many problems. And but what we choose to do is we choose to trust that most of those blockchain technologies here, even though they're not mature yet, they have problems here and there, but we believe they're going to improve by themselves. So instead of reinvent the wheel, we're looking into, so what can we do to join this kind of to join this kind of ecosystem, to work together to build the applications better. We realize that for a full decentralized application, the blockchain itself, even though blockchain itself is essential, but it's not everything. You still need a lot of other stuff that to put together to build a blockchain, to build an application. So sometimes I use this kind of a metaphor, say, imagine that each of the different blockchain is like different wheels or different engines, but what the user really need, what the developer really need is a car. So what we're building? We're building a car. We're building a platform for the car. So we'll be able to build the best transportation system, right? So that's how we position ourselves. So instead of being a competitor to all of those main chains or those kind of others, we are actually partners to them. So this is just our unique position, how we decided. So if you look at the visions and the problem you're going to address, I think one of the very famous projects called EOS, Enterprise OS, and they have very similar vision as we do. And but they choose a different ways because the US team is a very experienced team, so they choose to kind of redo everything. They think that today's blockchain has this kind of limitations, so they create a new blockchain technology, they create a new whole ecosystem around that new chains, and hopefully that will solve the problem. But we just think that differently. We think, okay, so Ethereum has its problem, we're going to move. And many other blockchains, they already come for a long way, and they might have the good chance to improve. But what we can do is instead of redo everything, reinvent the wheel, what if we just trust them? Eventually some of them will become mature and will become great. And what if we build a platform that we can integrate with them and to just help the developers to focus on the application itself? Because essentially the application itself still have a lot of logic to do other than the blockchain itself.
That's great thinking, Robert. I would also think that the technology will mature along the way. It's good to always think out of the box. So this is what ArcBlock is all about, not just reinventing the wheel, but really to create a platform so we can integrate seamlessly with the rest of developers. So I think everybody has different approach. So there won't be any competitors per se because we're pretty unique in itself. But more importantly, maybe Robert, would you like to share with us the advantages of ArcBlock?
So the advantage of the ArcBlock, I think, as when I described the designs of the whole architect. So one thing is, one very important thing is, we believe the blockchain, when the blockchain need to go to the mainstream, the user experience is extremely important. Blockchain technology is great, but a great technology should be beautiful and invisible, right? Imagine that when we're talking together with this live broadcast, so everybody in this broadcast just to see the videos. But what behind the video? Behind the video, there's tons of different protocols, technology, keep running.
Voice over IP.
Yes, my voice from Seattle is actually broadcasting across the world. There's tons of different protocols. We use many different networks, but you don't need to know. Those technologies are beautiful and they're invisible. This is my belief for the blockchain. I think the blockchain itself is basically like the fundamental components and the fundamental protocols. It's meaningful for developers to understand in every detail, but for the end user, you don't need to. You don't have to, right? You don't need to understand what is that wallet address, what that confusing number looks like, what that confusing number is. You don't need to understand what's gas fee, how to adjust the gas fee. You just need to, use it, and you know you are using it. So to be able to achieve that, we really need to crack the nuts on how to bring the blockchain technology into something that the general public can use.
Yes, I think that's really important because, like me, I'm not a developer. I'm more like the end user. So user experience is extremely important. I do not know the code. I'm not interested in knowing how to code it. So for user experience, how ArcBlock is able to facilitate, like a lot of things, it would be good if it's seamless, like it's on the cloud, or maybe it's web-based, or maybe mobile application. So is ArcBlock able to do that?
That's right. So today, if you're trying to use blockchain applications, you either need to run a full node, or you need to at least run a light node, and to be able to do that. So that basically only some geek can understand how to do it, right? But in the future, I think any user, when they use the blockchain applications, they should just use it just like today's browser applications, or just use like today's mobile applications. It just need to be as easy as today's application. And so to achieve that, so in ArcBlock, we have one of the critically important components, which is called the decentralized PubSub gateway. So this decentralized PubSub API gateway, so it basically is exposing the features that the developer developing in the blocklet, and then with that they communicate with the client libraries on the website or on the mobile app site. So that's basically with that gateway, we kind of connecting the mobile devices together with some of the node in the cloud to all together to form a node in the blockchain.
So all in all, to summarize it, would you say that our design principles are hugely centering around user experience, performance, and like maybe open source, like open standard?
Yes, so we have in our white paper, we actually disclosed a few of our design principles. For example, one of the first design principles is we're going to come to the user experience first. We potentially, because every system when we design it, it's kind of a trade-off, right? So sometimes you have to focus on one. So for our whole design, we try to aim to be practical and easy to use, and try to bring the best experience for the users. So what means best experience? First of all, it's approachable for normal users. Second of all, it needs to be really fast. The third is it needs to be free as possible, because if you do anything, even the login, even you do very small things, you have to pay the gas fee. It's just not for the normal users.
Yeah, it's not going to be like very economical, not cost saving for us. But yes, Robert, I also do love to know what is the current team size of your company?
So we start from a very small size of a team, from less than 10 people, and we rapidly grew to around 30 people in the past. So right now I'm sitting in our Seattle office, and in this office we're planning to have another 20 headcount purely for the engineering teams. So this office here is basically sit at the center of the technology center of the Seattle, and in the opposite building is Microsoft Windows Azure team. And below our floor is Alibaba US team. So basically here, Seattle is called the capital city of the cloud computing. And I believe in the near future is going to be the capital city of blockchains. So we set up an engineering team here. Is basically we try to have the best people to work together and the best partner to work together in the future. And we are also actually also just setting up a team in Shanghai, and we hopefully Shanghai team could be even more headcount than the U.S. team. So if any of you in the broadcast are interested in joining us, right? So welcome, because we're actively hiring great people to join the team.
Well, are you doing a recruitment live right now on our Huobi Talk? That's a good one.
Yeah, yes, these days, every time whenever I talk about this, I will quickly turn into the recruiting mode.
Yes, we're not going to charge you advertising. It's okay because you share golden nuggets of information. Yes, so for those of you who are interested to join Robert's team, you can at any time Twitter him or just drop it on our Huobi.pro talk, and we'll try to link you up. But of course, we have seen like how impressive your office is, but so far it looks like you're in the right place at the right time, Robert. Maybe next time you can just give us a virtual tour around your office. I think it would look really spectacular.
Yeah, I actually, honestly, I don't think the office really matters, but what really matters is the team. So the goal is try to assemble a really awesome world-class team to work on this.
So you have the world-class, awesome team. Can you describe maybe a few key personnel in your team, and why do you think they have what it takes to succeed in this industry?
I think that's a big topic. We can talk this for, for a full hour. But I think what's important right now is actually blockchain technology. I think, first of all, I think blockchain technology, it is cool, it is new, but actually it's not magical. It's just a basic computer science, right? So I would say for us, when we're looking for great developers and designers, we are still looking for the very essential side of the computer science, the knowledge of the computer science. And the second, I think blockchain actually is kind of refreshing the mindset. So sometimes when sometimes some people say, hey, you have a very experienced team, I always say, stop here. Sometimes in the blockchain world, maybe experience is not really a good thing, because you always need to think out of the box. You always need to think creatively. So experience could be great if you do that right, but it could also be the problem if you are just always thinking about in the old world software development. So our team right now, we have a really good balance. For example, we have very experienced scientists, experienced VP of engineering, but for most of our engineers, and they are very young. So they are very young and they're very creative.
Yes, thank you for sharing with us the strengths of your team members. And we have quite a number of our viewers who actually asked this question. So the next question will be, Robert, can you share with us ArcBlock's roadmap and development plans in the next few years? What's in your blueprint?
Yeah, so one thing I need to mention that different than many other projects, we actually write the white paper after 1 year development of everything. So everything that we write in the white paper, we actually have something already working or have something that already have the proof of concept. So that's actually give us an advantage that we're going to be able to have the first batch of the client that work closely with us. So to have the app run on ArcBlock in the second quarter. We are actually going to announce the important client in April, which is just 1 month away.
So you can't tell us now. Not like for those of people who are on Huobi.pro right now.
Yeah, I can't disclose their name because we're going to have a big announcement in the April 18, but I can disclose that it's going to be in the education space.
Wow,
it's probably a little bit surprise. It's not in the finance, not in other, but it's in education.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people might associate like blockchain technology to finance, to banking. However, you're chosen a different partner this time. It seems like it's in education.
Yeah, so choosing education space is, I think, is strategically important because, first of all, education is a space that is more open to new technology. And there is definitely much less problems to face. And also, if you look back for all those kind of new technologies when they adopt, look at the internet. So the internet actually it's adopted in the education in the campus many years before it became the mainstream. Right? If you look at other technologies, so education space, schools, they're the first batch of people who are easily to understand and easily to try them in their environment. And that's also a great opportunity for you to get the new generation understand what it is. And today, everybody think about the blockchain, they always think about the cryptocurrency, they always think the disruptive fintech. But actually, in the education world, there's a lot of opportunities. And so from the very simple way, for example, from the very simple idea to be able to bring the diploma, the scores, the certification into the blockchain, to kind of enforce some kind of smart contract to be able to align many different universities or institutions to work together to give some of the degrees. And many, many things that can actually happen in the education space with the support of the blockchain.
Wow, sounds like a lot of exciting possibilities that is enabled with this technology. And you've chosen education. I think that's a great move because, you know, your office, as you mentioned earlier, your office is going to be located, a new office is going to be in Shanghai. I think in Shanghai, they have a very huge education market out there. So that's a lot of business potential.
Exactly. I think that Shanghai is also very strategically decided because in Shanghai there's great universities, and Shanghai has quite a few different cities around. Each of those cities have great universities, a lot of students over there, and one of our partners is going to locate it in around those cities, and hopefully, so that give us some kind of advantage and to be able to group the team quickly.
Yes, and also, Robert, having shared so much, we would love to know more about your vision for ArcBlock as well as for the blockchain industry.
I think actually the ArcBlock's vision is actually lied on the blockchains and the decentralized apps visions, right? Because I believe in the blockchain 3.0, in the generation 3 of the blockchain, is all about the decentralized applications. So blockchain become infrastructures for many, many different industries. You know, from my point of view, I think the core value of the blockchain there's 3 core values. One core value is it's easy of the verification that bring the trust. The second core value is it's reduce the cost of formal networking effect, right? The third core value is it's actually removing the middleman. So removing middleman is very big. So that's basically, look at today. So there's so many businesses, there's so many industries. It's all built on top of the middleman. Why there's a middleman is need? Because of trust, right? If the blockchain becomes something that is fundamentally become an infrastructure of the IT system and the infrastructure of the society, that basically means there's a lot of the industry, a lot of business that depends on the middleman business. They're going to be changed and disrupted. Yes. So that basically brings tremendous opportunities for the whole industry, for the whole business world. So that basically means the future of the blockchain. Maybe it's not just a cryptocurrency. Maybe it's just all those kind of decentralized applications and all those opportunities based on building new applications or help the business to improve their existing systems. That's a huge business. So ArcBlock's goal is try to make these things much easier. And so basically, we are actually trying to push the blockchains and the applications built on top of the blockchain bigger and easier.
Yes. So really, ArcBlock is about really making the whole blockchain technology easier for all the end users like us to adopt. Now, of course, the market isn't doing very well. We all know that. So how do you see this blockchain technology in the next few years, next few months maybe? And maybe you'd like to share with us?
I think it's really meaningful day, right? Today, we picked this day. The market is really doing bad. But in this situation, I think focus on talking the technology, focus on talking what blockchain really means, right? So I think this is really meaningful. So honestly, for us, when we jumped into building this company for the ArcBlock, so what really excited for us is not the cryptocurrency itself, is actually the blockchain technology can be something that fundamentally changes the IT world. First, to change the IT world, and then change the world, the other part of the world, right? So that basically means a lot of opportunities just by building the solid component, building the platform to enable different new magic happening in the future.
It seems like it brings us back to what Spider-Man would say, with greater powers comes greater responsibilities. It seems like ArcBlock is already equipped with a lot of great powers. So I really hope to see ArcBlock moving in leaps and bounds and helping us to shape the new blockchain technology. And of course, we'll come to the end for the questions for Robert. That's for us. But of course, if you do have any questions, dear viewers, I can't wait for you to give us your questions. So start shooting right now. And we'll be picking from our pool of questions from our live chat so that we can answer any burning inquiries that you may have. So while you're taking your time to start posting in the chat box, I just want to share with you some information. So please remember that all times, right now at least, do not need to key in your UID to participate in our airdrop segment. You will only need to do so after my announcement and after the talk has ended. So once again, it's after the talk has ended and upon my announcement. So if you do have any questions for me, for Huobi Talk, or for Robert, right now, please shoot your questions in our live chat. So let's take a look at what questions we have. So Robert, maybe you'd like to pick up maybe one or two before I pick up one or two questions to answer.
Yeah, so there's a Iron Man asked, can ArcBlock inbound a chain tangle like IOTA? This is also a very good questions. So essentially, ArcBlock is actually building. Imagine that. So ArcBlock itself is not a new public chain. So we're trying to adopt with different blockchain technology. And so, for example, the IOTA, it's very unique. It's a very unique design. And ArcBlock is not just, we cannot just, ArcBlock is not just to be able to work with like traditional blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum. We are trying to be open and be able to work with new kind of blockchain technology such as the IOTA. And also in our decentralized PubSub gateway, we can support many different kind of protocols, including the protocols like, for example, MQTT, which is the IoT protocols. So that basically means our application in the future is not just designed for the mobile applications or web applications. It could also be an IoT device. So there's many different opportunities over there. So as an application platform, we try to be open enough so that be able to work together with many different technologies. And yeah, so hopefully that helps. That's answered the questions.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your questions. From Budi Santosa, I think you're from Indonesia. Selamat datang. Are the ArcBlock development have experience running the blockchain before, or is this the very first project that's on trial?
Okay, so as I mentioned, that my chief scientist Flavian, he is the first person who he's the first batch of the person. Who is a creator of the color coin, and is also the author of one of the most important protocols called Open Asset Protocol that is in the color coin age, right? So basically, our team we have many years experience on different kind of technology, and include the blockchain related technology. But however, this is the blockchain technology is evolving super fast. So there's many new things coming out every day. I think the speed and the trend of the blockchain development is much faster than the internet and the enterprise software age. So this is something that we always need to keep in mind. So that's why we always need great people to join us.
Okay, is that an advertisement again from you, Robert? Like we always need people to join us.
So this is my habit formed these days. And also sorry for my voice, because honestly today is not my best mode, because I have like 5 interviews every day to talk to potential developers. So my throat really hurt. Sorry.
Drink more water. Drink more water. We love to give you lots of water to hydrate yourself, give you a bit of time to breathe before you can answer more questions. You know, we have such overwhelming response from all our viewers. The questions just keeps coming. So while you take a little breather to sip on your water, I'm just going to siphon out a question. So I'm not sure whether this is too technical. But some of them were like asking how they can start using the ABT tokens.
So right now, the ABT token is still a ERC20 token. So what the ABT token designed for is essentially ArcBlock is a platform, is a computing platform. So ABT token is used is basically like a credits for using the ArcBlock platform. And also ABT token is a reward token for people who contribute the computing power or contributed components, right? So the ABT token itself only become a real utility token, become a utility when the ArcBlock platform is up and running, which we expect to be we expect to be the first quarter of year 2019. So for the next quarter, we're going to have our partners running on top of ArcBlock, but it's still mostly kind of a close partnership. So at that time, so there's still mostly focused on the blocklet itself and the open chain access product itself. There's no rewarding system yet. As I mentioned, that our plan is this year we're going to focus on make the platform real deal applications. And then next up, we're going to focus on the billing and operation system, billing and operation support system, which is basically powered by the blockchain. And at that point, the ABT really becomes something that can, consumed for using the ArcBlock platform and can be gained by providing service or providing the component for the platform. So it takes some time. So hopefully next year, this time, and ABT is something that is keep running.
Yes, we always have got to be, be curious and always dream big. And it seems like we have a question from someone from India. We have Naman Gupta. So namaste. So he was asking, what's the main focus for ArcBlock? It seems like ArcBlock is trying to ride a lot of boats at the same time. Robert?
So can you repeat the question because there's a little bit cut off?
He says, Naman Gupta says, what is the main focus for ArcBlock right now? Because it seems like ArcBlock is trying to ride a lot of boats at the same time.
Oh yeah, so right now our main focus right now is building the blocklets because you see the whole system, the whole architect, relatively I think our architect is still kind of simple. So essentially we have three major layers, which is open chain access protocol. So actually the open chain access protocol is not that complicated, especially in this phase. We're only planning to support the Ethereum and the Hyperledger for the first batch support, which is not super hard. And the decentralized PubSub API gateway is some component that is already up and running, and we have tested for a while. And all we need to do is improve the performance and do more tests. But the blocklet itself, we already have a proof of concept of the blocklet that is running on the AWS platform. But the blocklet itself, the goal is make this kind of architect, which is kind of not depend on certain cloud computing platform. So essentially, we wish the blocklet can be run on top of AWS, run on top of the Windows Azure, run on top of other cloud computing platforms. So there's quite a bit technical challenge and technical stuff need to be done here. So I think for this year, we are going to most of the time is going to spend on the blocklet and the related stuff.
Okay, I hope you answered your questions, Gupta. Now, coming from Nitish Biyani. Now, Nitish is asking, what are the part of the projects you have already delivered that we can take advantage of? So that's from Nitish. What are the part of projects you have already delivered and we can take advantage of?
So right now, that's a very good question. So honestly, we still have a lot of things to do to be able to involve more people. And right now, so we only involve very few close partners. Basically, because they are partners that we have some kind of past experience with, and they understand, they understand the challenge to work together with a platform that is still under development. So because there are tons of problems you need to fix, and so at this stage, unfortunately, we cannot involve more partners. Because in this stage, there's whenever, for example, if you, as a partner, if you want to contribute some code and something happens, some bad thing, some terrible bugs happen, is that something that is your own bug? Is that something that is in the ArcBlock platform? It probably become a really big headache. So right now we can only work with small group of people and hopefully make the system more stable, and then we will be able to open for everyone. And again, I have to go to the advertising mode. If you really, really cannot wait, join us.
Wow.
Join us. And yeah, let's fix the problem together. So that's, I think, that whoever cannot wait. Actually, we have one of the awesome developers who just going to join us. He said, this is exactly what he said. He listened, he come to one of my talks, and he's really get excited, but he said, I can't wait, right? Why? Let's join. I know there's still a lot of things not ready yet. Let me join you guys, and we work that together. So that's great.
Okay, I could count a number of times that you actually does the advertising on Huobi.pro or Huobi Talk Pro. But yeah, you know, it sounds really exciting. There's a lot of plans going on for ArcBlock. And we have time for one last question. So for those of you who have one last question to ask Robert, since he's here, we can pick his brains a little. So go ahead and start shooting your questions. And Robert can also pick the last question for us. Otherwise, I also have some other questions here from
let me pick one of the important questions here. Gushan and Kushonwa, hopefully I pronounced the name correctly.
Is it from which country?
Is it possible to mining ABT token? Yeah, that's a very important question. That's a good question. Yes. We reserve 32% of the ABT and for the community support. So half of the 32% of the ABT token are completed for mining. However, the mining in the ArcBlock is different than the mining in Bitcoin and mining in Ethereum. Basically, because the mining concept in the ArcBlock is actually either providing the computing resource or you provide to be new chain adapters. It could be applications that can be reused by others, right? When you're providing those resources, and when some other developers or other system use your components, and you are going to get rewarded with ABT. So that we call it the mining. And the great thing is, and in this system, the great thing is if you are be able to provide an awesome component. So the mining is just happening in our platform by itself. You don't need a computer. You don't need a server farm to mining. Instead, we call this kind of mining by your brain. If you have a great idea, if you'll be able to create a component that can be reused by millions of others, your brain, your talent is actually mining that for you. So that's our concept.
Well, that's a great concept. And I know a lot of you are really interested with very, very overwhelming, very fantastic commands coming in, and also lots of questions for Robert. I think the last question was really good, but there's one question I think is very difficult, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Isato was saying, do you miss me? Okay, we have very cute viewers over here. Thank you for keeping your questions coming in all the time. It's been a great pleasure having Robert here with us. He has answered so many questions, and despite his really busy schedule, because he mentioned every day, daily basis, he has got like 4 interviews ongoing at the same time. Thank you for your time. And do you have any parting words for our viewers here at Huobi Talk?
Yeah, I would like to thanks a lot for everybody here to listen to my talk and also ask the questions. And also I would like to really thanks for Huobi, especially didn't kick me out because I try to break the rule and try to recruiting people.
Not at all. We welcome that though.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for everyone. And we are trying to work. Today is a really bad time for the marketing, but just to trust us, trust the team. There's many other teams like us. We don't really care too much about what the market looks like, but we're dedicated our time to building the next generation blockchain technology. I think this is the future that we can depend.
And yes, this is the future that we'll be seeing. I'm really confident of the results that ArcBlock will be able to deliver. So thank you, Robert, and we wish ArcBlock all the best. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow, yes, we have Robert who spent more than an hour with us, taking us through a whole journey from the inception of ArcBlock all the way to the developments of ArcBlock. And now it is time for us to take a final update of our Huobi Talk special airdrop giveaway. So once again, we have an attractive prize pool of up to 20,000 ArcBlock ABT together with 4.9 million engine EGCC and Odyssey OCN tokens up for grab, and we can only make this possible together. So everybody just have to share this live stream. So the live stream URL is www.youtube.com/Huobi.pro/live. So share this with your family and friends for us to hit the top tier of 2,000 live viewers and more. As we always said, the more the merrier, because the more everybody can be a great winner. So right now, let's take a look at the number of viewers that we managed to gather during this 1 hour plus. Wow! Wow, thank you very much, viewers. We've hit 3,000 and more and counting. In fact, a lot more viewers are online right now. Thank you for watching us live. We hit the top tier. Congratulations, everybody! Well done, 3,000 and more and counting. And we have hit the top prize pool. Okay, so right now you can comment on the live chat with your Huobi UID right now. So that's right, it's right now, right now. You can start commenting on the live chat with your Huobi UID at I Love HADAX, so to participate in the airdrop. So if you've done it earlier on, you should start to do it now. So do note that the airdrop will be given to your Huobi account within 3 working days from the live streaming. So look out for it. And only viewers who have commented UID with your UID 12345678 at HADAX during the live streaming can get to receive the tokens. So Huobi.pro reserve the right to disqualify any entries that do not meet the rules and regulations of the airdrop. So this includes entries submitted with invalid or incorrect information. Also, we would like to take this opportunity to let you know that Huobi.pro has taken in all your valuable feedbacks with regards to the Huobi Talk and our airdrop segment. So thank you very much, and in order to serve you guys better, Huobi.pro will be updating our airdrop scheme for our future commands and campaigns. So stay tuned with us for more updates. And here's a quick disclaimer. So for those of you who are involved in our Huobi Talk Pro and also for our airdrop segment, we'd like to remind you that everyone involved, that there are risks involved. So users are advised to exercise caution in trading, and when in doubt, to take actions. You should always consult your solicitors or other professional advisors. So that's all from us. My name is Sharlyn. Thank you so much for joining us live here at Huobi Talk. So do catch us live again on Huobi Talk next Thursday. That's right, every Thursday at 12 p.m. GMT +8, and we are broadcasting live from the Asia Financial Hub in Singapore. So that's 12 p.m. here as well. And we're going to share with you more exciting, informative, insightful features of promising projects and, of course, our signature exciting airdrop segments. Now, for the latest updates, or if you have any questions and you want to reach us, you can always find us on Telegram by searching Huobi.pro official on Telegram, or follow us on Twitter at Huobi_pro and Instagram too at Huobi.pro. So check out the links right below our video description. And also please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you for joining us, and thank you. This is our Huobi Talk, the #1 talk show featuring promising insights, projects, and giving you a lot of the latest trends to our world of blockchain. So goodbye for now, and catch us live again next Thursday. And this is Sharlyn. Thank you.